Good morning, afternoon, or evening, You Can Heal family. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're reading 1 Samuel chapter 8. My name is Shena, and I am so glad that we're together again. So I hope everybody had a good weekend, and we're going to see how far we get this week, all right? Israel rejects Samuel's sons as leaders. And again, I had a good time going live with you guys this weekend, so we'll do that again this upcoming weekend as well. As Samuel grew old, he appointed his sons to be judges over Israel. Joel and Abijah, his oldest sons, held court in Beersheba, but they were not like their father, for they were greedy for money. They accepted bribes and perverted justice. Finally, the leaders of Israel met at Ramah to discuss the matter with Samuel. "Look," they told him, "you are now old, and your sons are not like you. Give us a king like all the other nations have." Israel rejects God as king. Samuel was very upset with their request and went to the Lord for advice. "Do as they say," the Lord replied, "for it is me they are rejecting, not you. They don't want me to be their king any longer. Ever since I brought them from Egypt, they have continually forsaken me and followed other gods, and now they are giving you the same treatment. Do as they ask, but solemnly warn them about how a king will treat them." Oh, that's interesting. Sometimes you can want something so bad and it's not the right thing for you, but God will let you have it, and then you realize, oh, this wasn't his will for me, this wasn't his plan for me. So just keep that in mind. If maybe there's something you want so bad, it's probably not the right time, or let the Lord instruct and lead. Because that last verse, that last sentence there, "do as they ask," give them what they want, but solemnly warn them about how a king will treat them. The next section says, Samuel warns Israel. So Samuel passed on the Lord's warning to the people. "This is how a king will treat you," Samuel said. "The king will draft your sons into his army and make them run before his chariots. Some will be commanders of his troops, while others will be slave laborers. Some will be forced to plow in the fields and harvest his crops, while others will make his weapons and chariot equipment. The king will take your daughters from you and force them to cook and bake and make perfumes for him. He will take away the best of your fields and vineyards and olive groves and give them to his own servants. He will take 1/10 of your harvest and distribute it among his officers and attendants. He will want your male and female slaves and demand the finest of your cattle and donkeys for his own use. He will demand 1/10 of your flocks, and you will be his slaves. When that day comes, you will beg for relief from this king you are demanding, but the Lord will not help you." But the people refused to listen to Samuel's warning. My goodness. God warns us, and sometimes we refuse to listen too and end up in scrapes. Think about your mom. So many things she's told you right when you were younger and you didn't listen. And only if you would have listened, then, this or that, right? Oh my goodness. "Even so, we still want a king," they said. "We want to be like the nations around us." Oh, this is so bad, Israelites. No, stop trying to be like someone else, right? Oh, this is so good. "We want to be like the nations around us. Our king will govern us and lead us into battle." So Samuel told the Lord what the people had said, and the Lord replied, "Do as they say and give them a king." Then Samuel agreed and sent the people home. It's so bad. Let's see some commentary. commentary on verses 6 and 7, which said Samuel was very upset with their request and went to the Lord for advice. Do as they say, the Lord replied, for it is me they are rejecting, not you. I like, let's go look at that again. I like that too, because just in general, if people in your life have rejected you, it's not you, it's perhaps they can see the Christ in you. But the commentary said, verses 6 and 7, a faithful religious leader prays to the Lord and listens to the concerns of his people. In this case, the deeper motive of the people in seeking a king amounted to a rejection of God's direct authority. Oh, they wanted a king so bad, because then they could skip over what God was trying to say or how God was trying to lead them. So if they had that king, then they wouldn't have to feel like they had to surrender or submit to God. The commentary for verses 10 through 8. The picture Samuel gave was typical of Near Eastern kings, oppressive, greedy, and self-serving. This compares to descriptions of the end of Solomon's reign, but contrasts with prophecies of the Messiah's kingdom in Isaiah. So many good little lessons in there. Maybe listen to this again and ask the Lord to reveal to you some of them. But, wanting something so bad and not being patient, God ended up giving the Israelites the king, but he warned them. He said, if you do this, pretty much it's not going to turn out good. You're going to be slaves. You're going to have crops taken, animals, and all this stuff. And they still were like, yeah, that's what we want. It's like, duh, it's so obvious. This is not a good choice. Okay, so let's make some good choices today, You Can Heal family. Let's make some good choices. Let's invite God into our decisions and know that he knows best, right? God knows what's best for us. So tomorrow we're going to look at God chooses Saul. So that'll be good. That'll be a good chapter. I love you. I do. Always, always remember that true healing begins with self-love. Why? Because God is love and he lives on the inside of you. And just a shout out to Coach Jessica. Today I watched her Bali trip vlog. And it was just so beautiful. Part 1. She really took the time to spend with herself and enjoy some adventures. And that swing looked absolutely divine. Such a good time. So yeah, if you're not following Coach Jessica Rich, go ahead and do that and get blessed by the beauty that surrounded her on her trip. All right, we'll talk soon. Bye.